Well, we are addressing it. We've been having good discussions between the two countries, our ministries of Home Affairs, and I believe the matter will be resolved very soon. And I think the visa access has been eased somewhat. We did have this problem occurring just before the COVID-19, and then COVID-19 interfered with the work we'd already done. But I believe we'll resolve it. We're having very good discussions, Minister Biruta and myself, and I think between the two of us and our ministers responsible for immigration, we'll find a solution. Migration is always complicated, and there's been an issue of allegations of persons from Rwanda who came into South Africa and attempted to assassinate persons who were previously in opposition here. So there's been worries about, are we able to manage those who come into the country to ensure that it's not persons with a negative intention. And I think once we resolve all of that, things should be fine. Well, we're losing opportunity of tourism, particularly I think for South Africa the impact is negative, but also South Africans love traveling and we'd like to get to know Rwanda more. The work that Rwanda is doing on conservation, particularly of the gorilla, is very important. Youth tourism, so I think that the two countries are proving to be very important countries on the African continent. And for me, it's vital that they work together more closely. Well, I hope before the end of this year, I've said to Minister Biruta, I'm planning to come to Rwanda with some message and hopefully solutions. So maybe before the end of this year, you'll see me back. It's proceeded very positively. We have agreed in SADC that we're going to begin a drawdown because there's been good progress. So we will be withdrawing the mission from next year, middle of next year. And I think both the SADC countries and Rwanda itself have made a significant contribution to peace and security in Mozambique. And we're very thrilled that our force commanders were able to work very well together to repel this threat of terrorists. Well, you'll recall that the deployment of Rwanda is a bilateral arrangement with Mozambique. You then have the entry of a multilateral mission that arrives without the two having had a proper deliberation on command and control. And you know, in any situation where you have a task, if you don't know how it is to be carried out, what the various leaders' roles would be, can pose a confusing problem. But I believe our force commanders had very good deliberations. They worked out a manner of working because soldiers are much more disciplined than we are, and they were able to address these matters very well. Many partners, international partners, have been training the Mozambique Defense Force, and we hope that they now have the capacity to hold the ground, which is what's necessary. And we think we have had sufficient time for them to really develop the ability to assume responsibility. Well, I don't have the details, and I think it would be very wrong to say them online in this way, but it is something that we're working on. South Africa believes always that there must be peace and there should be talk between brothers. You can't have Africans at war with each other or in conflict in any way. Our biggest priority as Africans has to be development and changing the condition of our people. Quarreling about anything is just not very useful to the tasks that historically we have as Africans.